Happy Friday. See, everybody's already chatting away in the chat box. Just want to say hi. I'm so happy y'all are here. Hey, Terry and Michelle, and I see Carol introducing herself, one of our moderators, and my good embroidery friend. So I hope everybody is having a great Friday, and I'm so excited about tonight's project, guys. This week has been a whirlwind. Like, this week has been my Christmas. So I don't know what's going to be in store next week, but this week has definitely been my Christmas. So I hope everyone has had a good a week as I have. That's all I can say. Hi, Christine. So first, I just want to say hi and welcome and introduce myself. My name is Carly Bell, and I like to get together with all of you every Friday night for a little something we call Sip and Stitch, and we do a live tutorial from start to finish and show you how to do an entire project on your embroidery machine, or sometimes we'll do projects on our silhouette, or you can also use a Cricut machine. So, and you may drink your beverage of choice. I always have a little something something. I also want to welcome any of new viewers that we had, because I did an interview this past week on Sewing Machines Plus little live countdown to Christmas show that they did, which was really fun and really exciting. And Mr. Blaine, who I think he owns Sewing Machines Plus, and he was the host of the show, you know, asked about the name of my show and that it's Sip and Stitch. He's like, what are you sipping on? I'm like, alcohol. So don't have to, it's not mandatory, but it for me is encouraged for myself. This is my break. This is my happy time every week on a Friday night, where I get to an excuse that I have to be in my craft room for several hours. Like my husband knows now, like I have to be in here. So it's worked out very good in my favor. So hi Delia, hi Cynthia, hi Cindy, Journey of a Random Musings, Nina. Oh my goodness, y'all are talking away. Okay. Hi Marissa. Thank you for watching, Christina. Hi Jasmine and Nancy. Let's see. Journey of a Random Musing says, today's embroidery project was a fail. You made the decision that it's time for a new embroidery machine. Well, I could tell you all about new embroidery machines because I got 2 of them in the past 6 months. So if you need help in that department, I could help you. Terry's drinking coffee. Coffee is usually my drink of choice every other part of the day, every other day of the week, except Friday night. So, thank you, Miss Scarlett. Hi, Carol and Brenda. So, Joanne. I know, it's so crazy how much things have grown in the past, 6 months to a year. It's all like insane to me. Like, we are having fun and doing our thing, and people are liking it, and I am so happy that other people are enjoying this. So makes me super duper happy. Ooh, Christina gave her EM1010 a workout today. Awesome. I've only played with mine a couple times. I am so excited to really get cranking on some Christmas presents. Hopefully this weekend, and definitely on Monday and Tuesday I should have some time to really, I'm putting all 3 machines working at the same time, getting everybody's Christmas present done. Hi, Natasha. Okay, so yeah, lots of exciting things this week. I was on the Sewing Machines Plus live show with Mr. Blaine Austin, and that was super exciting, and I love y'all know I love to talk, so that worked out pretty well. I love talking to him and telling him all about my persona. So I have to show y'all we have a new setup in the room. So if you haven't watched, I posted a new YouTube video Wednesday or third. What's today? Well, today is Friday, obviously. I can't remember. I think I posted it on Wednesday. So we have a new member to the craft room, and I never thought I would be able to get one of these machines, but it has worked out. So this is my new baby, my Ricoma EM1010, and she is a 10 needle, and her name is Roxy. But don't fret, don't worry, we still have Pearl, the persona. She just moved over here. So I'm still working out how I think I still want to turn her to be a little bit on an angle. So I have this craft desk, but if you noticed, it's not center underneath my pegboard. So my husband said we could move this over a smidge. I'm gonna move that rack. And so that will give me a little bit more room to work here. And then I might be able to turn her and be at an angle. So that is the new setup. I had a cabinet here, moved that into the guest room. The guest room has now become my junk room. All of my stuff is just thrown in there. I need to clean up these coming weeks where I have some time off of work and I'm home with the kids out of school. I have a lot of cleaning out to do. And we might do something special after the new year for all of us that need to clean out some of our craft clutter. But so now this area looks kind of bare. I think I need a trip to Hobby Lobby and get me some pretty things to put on the wall up there. Maybe some little shelves, some more thread racks, because I've now learned with having 3 machines, I need a lot more thread because I don't want to keep changing, especially on the Ricoma. Once I have that baby threaded, and I need a red thread, and my only red thread is on that machine, no, I need more thread. So, okay, so I'm sorry I missed all the comments. I'm gonna go back and look real quick. Okay, so I'm sure Miss Carol has already introduced herself, and if you haven't seen, she helps me out tremendously with questions, because once I start jibber jabbing and I miss all the comments happening, she will write down your questions, and then when she sees I'm looking, I'm like, okay, I'm ready for questions. She will put them in all caps of the stuff that y'all asked. So thank you so much, Carol. We all appreciate you. So let's see, I'm scrolling up. So any questions before we get started tonight? And I tell y'all this project, like when we did the first key fob, I started having an obsession with key fobs. Now I have a new obsession. And I think my obsession has a nice general umbrella of in the hoop. My obsession now is anything in the hoop. Okay, Miriam, do you have to go through Ricoma to purchase the EM1010? Yes. What's cool about this whole situation is that you're getting it directly from the manufacturer. So I've only had it for a week, but my experience so far has been great. If you have any questions about the Ricoma, I have a referral link, so it's connected to me, and it's in the description box down below, and you can click that and it'll bring you to the Ricoma page, and you fill out your name and your email and your phone number, and somebody from Ricoma will call you, and you can ask them all the questions about the machine. And I think if you end up buying a machine because you use that link, my link down below, it'll save you $100 off your purchase. But I think right now they have free shipping through the end of the year. I might be wrong about that, but I think I read that today. But I will definitely give y'all my happy and honest review of the Ricoma once I played with it some more, and then I'll start doing some tutorials with it too. Okay. Yes, everybody's loving the in the hoop projects. Okay, Norma, how can I send Carly some cash to buy more thread? Santa Claus has been very good to me this year, so I think I'll be good. Yeah, we're talking about the Persona. The Persona is an awesome machine too. So this, I'm looking at this now as like, this is, I got a whole big picture now, and I feel like I could really help people no matter what level you're on. If you're on, you know, your starter, which I've been having this baby for 7 years and it is still cranking and making beautiful things, I can help you with that. If you're ready to level up and to try something bigger and better, Miss Pearl back there, she's awesome. And then if you're really ready to do all the things and start a home business and be able to load your machine and walk away and not have to change threads and not have to worry about things stitching to each other, then bad boy Roxy over here, bad girl Roxy, she's what you can do. So it's going to be fun that we'll get to play with all the machines and show tutorials no matter what level of machine you have at home. Okay. Carly put up a coffee link. Oh, that's a good idea. I like coffee. I'm the I want to know how cheap I am though when it comes to coffee. I got these really good thermos mugs. Chris ordered once because one time he spilled like a full cup of coffee while he was at school, and he was like, we need to find mugs that screw on and that won't spill, like a sippy cup. We need a sippy coffee cup that won't spill when you turn it upside down. So we found these really nice aluminum ones that hold the heat in really good. And so, you know, like tomorrow I have dance in school with Abigail and we'll be gone most of the day. We'll leave in the morning, but we won't come home till after lunch. I make an extra cup of coffee. I put it in my little thermos sippy cup and I bring that with me. So come 1, 2 o'clock when I'm ready for my coffee, I got it already. That's me. I have a problem with coffee creamer, and I like a very specific vanilla caramel coffee creamer, and so I like my coffee. So that's another reason too. Let's see. Doot, doot, doot. Oh, thank you, Con. Con just had her birthday this month, guys. Everybody wish Con a happy, happy birthday. She had it last weekend. Brindy is taking donations for Roxy. Awesome. Yeah, they have something called Super Chat. I'm not very familiar with it. I know I've gotten it a few times though, and people have sent me a couple dollars on there. So that's really sweet. Oh, Dora said she just stitched her 1,000,000th stitch. Awesome. I wonder how, let's see how many stitches I have on this one. Yeah, Cynthia, need a sippy cup too. The brand is, what is the brand? It starts with a C, and I have lots of cups made by this brand. It's, oh, what's the name? I can't think. When I think of it, I'll tell y'all. But I got water bottle, that's sippy cup. You have to press a button to drink out of it, and the coffee mugs. Because I've spilled the whole, I've thought I picked up my coffee, and the top wasn't on there good, and so when I picked it up, I kept holding the top and the bottom fell in my cup holder and coffee splashed all over my radio dial dash, and there's still some buttons that are like stuck. It was bad. After that happened, that's when Chris was really like, okay, you need a coffee sippy cup. Okay, so I'm gonna quickly check, see how many stitches I have on my PE770. So to check your stitches on Brother machines, there's this little icon that looks like a sheet of paper with a folded corner. That's like your settings menu. And like the first option is you can see what is on your display. Like if you want to see the number of stitches in the display, the number of steps, or the time that your machine is predicting it's going to take you to stitch out the design. So I have mine set on time. You can also, if you want it to be in millimeters or inches, the embroidery tension, you want to leave that at 0. Then with the PE770 and PE800, you have a choice of your embroidery speed. It only has a slow version and a fast version. So the slow version is 350 stitches per minute and the fast is 650 stitches per minute. That's what I pretty much always leave my machine at. Now on my bigger machines, there's a lot more flexibility with slowing down and speeding up. They go up to 1,000 stitches per minute. And I do slow those down when I'm doing really fine, small lettering. So on those machines, I do slow them down. But this one, I usually just leave it at 650. Buzzer, opening, language, brightness of your screen. And then the last one says service count, total count. So I did have mine serviced recently, so you could see how many stitches I've had since my service. But overall, I have 4,466,027 stitches on her. So that is not like a ton, but that's good. That's a good amount. I have to check and see how many I've gotten on the persona, because I don't run a home business. I'm not making things every single day. Now my only excuse to come in here and make things is when I am doing the Friday night. Oh, thank you, Nisha on the go. Thank you so much. You're so sweet. Yes, I will do that. You know what? I need black thread. I'm going to go buy a spool of black thread because this is my black. I bought this at the local baby lock store here that they serviced my machine. So this is their Robinson and Anton thread. I bought white and black at the same time. Which one do you think I use more? We need more black thread. Okay. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so let's get started. So we talked about the settings on the machine, the settings menu, and how you can find out how many stitches you have. But let's talk about tonight's project, which is now going to be my new obsession. I think I'm going to try and make one of these for every little girl in the family. This and where are they? The lip balm holders we made a couple weeks ago. But this is a beautiful in the hoop zippered bag. Like everything, the zipper, the outside. This is applique. Then the name. I'm gonna show you where you want to put the name in the series of steps. It has a liner. The only thing I had to do, and I'm sure there's a better way to do it, but my heat and bond wasn't working, is I did hand stitch the lining, because when you're done tonight, it's gonna look like this. And you have to put it, right side out. And in order to turn it out when we're done tonight, there is a hole in the bottom of the liner. And I don't have the right stuff. I think I need something called press and seal that you don't need an iron for. But this is a design. It's super duper cute. I'm in love with it. This is a 5x7 design. So 7 inches this way, 5 inches this way. They did have a bag that was more like 5x5 if you wanted to make it a little smaller. But it still has to be done in the 5x7 hoop. So the smallest hoop for this project is 5x7, but then it goes up. So if you do have a bigger machine, there is an 8x8 sized bag that we can do on the Persona. And there is an 8x12 size bag that we can do on the Ricoma. So I'm gonna make a couple small ones for Christmas presents. But then when I have, if I have free time, I want to make myself a big one. So I really think, I have to measure my iPad. I would like to make one that can fit my iPad. I have to measure this and see. I think this would fit in the Ricoma size hoop, and I can make a pretty bag to just slide my iPad in. That would be cute. But this is what we're making tonight. The design is from one of my favorite places, Parker on the Porch. Almost everything I've been doing the past week has been Parker on the Porch. They're where I first discovered key fobs from. We did a key fob back in September with Elise's name and Abigail's name on them, and that's where the same website is where we got them from. And we, let's see what else I did. Oh, I made these the other day. I posted them on Instagram. These are also from Parker on the Porch. These are some key fobs. So we will do these maybe in January because a few people asked about them. Okay, Carol said, why am I frozen? Please don't be frozen. Carol said, you wanted to know, I mentioned plastic or metal zipper. I'm using plastic zipper. I don't think I put it in the description box below, but it's on the Satin Stitch homepage. And you have choices. So, let's see. So, according to Parker on the Porch, so let me do a disclaimer to begin with. I am not an expert in making in the hoop bags at all. This is legit the first bag I ever made on my embroidery machine. So I followed, they give you a really nice PDF instructions with pictures with step by step, and I just followed the instructions. She recommends using a 9 for this bag, a 9-inch, and they have, I'm learning about zippers. They have a number 3 zipper and they have a number 5 zipper. And I think that has to do maybe with the millimeters of the thickness of the zipper. I have a 5. Let's see. Okay. So I bought a set. So what I linked, yeah, is plastic. They're cool though because they look metal, but they're plastic. So I bought a set from camsnaps.com, the same place where I got my pretty pink press over there. They sell zippers and pulls. And I got a set with a white number 3 zipper and a white number 5 zipper. See how this one's thicker? The, I don't know, what do you call it? The thread? Is the tread? I don't know. Is thicker. And then it also came with a black one like this and a black one like this. So I got it like a 4-piece set. And I want to say it was only like 10 bucks. And it's 4 feet. This is called zipper tape. When you buy it in a roll like this, it's called zipper tape. And then I also, when I first set out to like, I want to do a bag, I bought this like months ago because I've been having this design for months. And I just finally stitched it out this week. I bought this 9-inch zipper from Walmart. So this will always also work. This is already has the piece on, the actual pull, and it has a stop on it. So this is like ready to go. This one comes in a tape, but it doesn't have and then you get a bag of like 12 of these with the tape, and you have to insert these pieces on here, and I'm going to show you how to do that. It just kind of play with it a little bit. It wasn't that hard. I've seen some people do tricks with a fork and doing it, but I was able to just do it with my hands. But I'll show you all that at the craft table. Okay, so that's what we're doing tonight. And let's see, what should we do now? Let's go over to the craft table. Am I frozen or anything for y'all? Because on my screen, I'm frozen. Let me refresh. Good. Okay, good. All right. I'm always scared. So New Year's resolution is get a new video set up. And that's my plan to conquer over the Christmas holiday. Let's get stitching. All right, Carol, keep me in line because you know I'm slow. All right. Let me get my zipper pull and my zipper. Okay. So we're going to do the same exact bag tonight. And we're just going to do a different name for my cousin's little girl. And this is the fabric. I went ahead and picked it out because I wanted to have it cut already. But my stepmom helped me pick it out. So I think we did a good job. It came out pretty. So this is going to be this is a Riley Blake Textures fabric. This is going to be this teal polka dot in the back. So that's called the front and the back. That's going to be these 2 pieces. Then this is going to be the liner. This is going to be the inside the bag. And then this piece is going to be the applique. So it's going to look like this on the front of the bag. Like this. Okay, well I can ask your opinion on this. Do you like this for the outside of the bag? Or do you like this better for the outside of the bag and have the texture? Yeah, no, I think this should be the liner. Just looking at it in the camera, I could already see I don't like it. Let's do this. So this will be the outside of the bag. That's the applique. And this will be the inside liner. Okay, so we need 2 pieces for liner, 2 pieces for the front and back, and then 1 piece for this applique in the front. Okay, See how the seam is here, and so the back is the same as the front. So those are your pieces of fabric. I just went ahead and you can print out the design and see. Also, when you buy the design, it comes with the PDF, and the PDF is great. Like, it tells you you need the 9-inch zipper. It tells you for no matter what hoop size you're doing, it will tell you the size fabric you need cut out for that hoop size. I just went ahead and took my grid and made it a little bit bigger than my grid so that I knew it would fit on the hoop well. So those are your fabrics. Also, when I made this bag, I just used the fabric as is, and I put heat and bond on the back of the piece that is applique. Jen, the lady who owns Parker on the Porch, she also suggested that you can put interfacing, which I'm not a seamstress, so I'm not super familiar with all the types of interfacing. So maybe Miss Carol can give us more insight on that. But she said she used a interfacing on the back of the pieces that was the front and the back of the bag. I did not do that for this, and I think it's fine. The last piece of the puzzle is to make the bag a little stiffer and not floppy, is on this back piece of the bag, and between the back liner and here, I have a piece of fusible fleece. So that's what's in between there. And this is the same stuff I used the time we did the hooded towel sip and stitch. This is the same stuff. And I have it linked. I don't know if I put it down in the description box below, but it is on the Sip and Stitch homepage, which is like one of the first links underneath the description box tonight. So those are your fabrics, your fusible fleece. And I got some heat and bond already cut for my applique piece. And then whether you're going to use a 9-inch zipper or zipper tape. So let me show you real quick how I put the thing. Let's pray that I can actually put it back on. Because I think we need to go ahead and cut it now, because I think it's okay. Yeah, we want it apart like this. So can y'all see? So apart like this, and you want the zipper, you want to feed it in this way. I think that's right. So let's see. So we're going to hold it like this, and I'm going to feed one side in, and I'm just kind of holding it where it's flush, the tape here and the back of the zipper. I'm just holding it, and now I'm going to do the other side. And feed it. And now you just want to hold it from the back here, these two pieces. Let's see, I know I'm probably not going to get it since I'm doing it for y'all. And then pull. So this might be where the fork thing, because I think the first time I did it was the end of the tape where, see how they have some space here? That made it easier, because then I had something to pull. Let's do this, have a little bit more room. And you know I had it on there right before we went live, because I was like, let me go ahead and make sure I could do it, and I did it no problem. And now that we're doing it, oh, that's what it was. I need to hold it down. That's what it was. Okay. I was trying to do it where I'm holding it and pulling it, but when you put it flat on the ironing board, and then you can use your two fingers to really hold those two pieces down, then it pulls. So now I have it to where, you know, there's just a teeny little gap here, but the zipper is in the middle. Okay. So you need a piece that's going to be as wide as your fabric that you cut. So I'm going to cut it a little bit wider just to be safe. And this is plastic, so it cuts like super easy. I love that it looks like it's metal, but it's not. So that's the zipper tape. And your fabric in your fleece. And let's go ahead and put the heat and bond on the back of here, so when we go to the machine, we got everything we need. And I got my little iron already on because I'm gonna do the ironing in the hoop once we stitch that applique piece in, because I like my applique stuff to be nice and smooth. So that's that, and then we have a 5x7 hoop, and all you need is a sheet of Tearaway stabilizer. And make sure my hoop is a little tight. And just push it down. So, I think the reason why I love In the Hoop project so much is because I don't have to hoop anything except stabilizer. I don't have to mark anything. I don't have to do placement. All I have to do is hoop the stabilizer. So these are all the things we need. And then the most important thing is masking tape. Tape it all down. So now we can go back over to the machine. I hope I'm not forgetting anything. I'm gonna go back and look at the instructions. Make sure I'm telling you all the right stuff. Like I said, I am not an In the Hoop bag expert. I'm doing this just like y'all, but I'm just showing you with the camera. So, any questions? All right, thank you, Carol. Okay, so, oh, let me show you. I have the design. I'm gonna show y'all my computer. Let me back this up. Let me show you. Okay, so this is the PDF. Can you see? This is the PDF that you get, and it shows you, you know, step by step. I mean, there's so many combinations that you could do with this bag, but it shows you, you know, what size bag you're doing, what pieces of fabric you need and what size, and how long of a zipper you need. So it's really, really well done with the instructions, and they give you visuals on how to do everything. So all tonight is a video version of this, you know, showing you how it's done. Okay, so we're in Embrilliance Essentials. So if you're just making the bag, you can go straight from downloading the design to your computer, unzipping it, copy and paste the format that you need for your machine. So if you have a brother, you need PES. My Ricoma takes DST. So I'm learning about my new format now. And the size bag you want, and just copy and paste it on your flash drive and put it directly on your machine. I, however, want to add a name to a bag, like we did Lauren's bag. I left it over there. So I am going to choose my font icon. I already have it set on the font I want. This is from Creative Applique, Twinkle Star. And this is going to be for Kaylee. Make sure I spell it right. Yep. And I'm doing, I think a 1 inch is good. And I'm going to use my little black boxes here and my grid lines to make sure that it's centered in the bag. And I'm just kind of eyeballing the center between this applique piece and the bottom of the bag. So that's it. But you can see that all the bag is first and then the name. But I want the name to be not the last step of the design, because then it would sew the design shut. So you need to know where to put the name. So this right here, if I'm going, this is placement. No, this is placement for the zipper. This is the back lining. This is the front lining. This is the front. This is the placement for the applique. This is the tack down for the applique. And then it's going to do a satin stitch after you've trimmed your applique a little bit. I want my Kaylee to come before this satin stitch. So I'm going to click on Kaylee, and hold it down, and I'm going to drag it to where now I have a blue line in between those two steps and let it go. So now it has separated the design into more steps. Like all the bag was in step 1 and the name was step 2. Now it put all the rest of the bag steps as step 3. So now when it stitches, and we can do the stitch simulator to make sure. So this is the stitch simulator, and I'm just going to move my cursor. So that's the placement. That's the zipper. Back lining, front lining, front. And now this is applique placement. Applique tack down. Now we're doing the name. Then we'll do the applique satin, and then the rest of the bag, which will all make sense when you see it. But it's just putting all the pieces together. So I'll make sure that's right, and that all looks good. So I'm going to go to File, Save Stitch As, Save Stitch File As, and I'm going to do Kaylee bag, and it's in PES, and I need to save it on the flash drive. That would be helpful. And save. Okay, and now I'll eject my flash drive and put it on the machine. Okay. Eject it. Okay, now plug it in, and got all my pieces. Luckily these are big pieces, because y'all know whenever I cut a small piece of fabric, I lose it. Hopefully I won't lose those. I'm gonna load my hoop. I have pink thread on there now. Let's think about, so the name is gonna go on this fabric. What color do you think I should do the name? Let's see. Jamila, you ordered a Racoma? Awesome! That's amazing. Yay, I'm so excited for you. You're gonna love it. You're gonna, the thing that I am amazed with the most so far is I do these videos because I want to teach people how to do things. And with the Racoma, I didn't have to go and figure it out, because this is my first multi-needle machine. They taught me everything that I needed to know on how to use the machine. So it's awesome. I'm so excited for you. Yay! Okay. All right. So Brenda, pink or purple? Pink or purple? Or dark purple? I know, I was kind of thinking of a dark color. I don't know if that would be too dark, because I mean, they got this nice, I don't know. Let's see. I do need to buy more thread. I need more shades of purple. Oh, now the one problem is, you know, my good purples are on the Racoma. Oh wait, Racoma sent me some nice threads. Let's see. I think they're all real bright colors though. Got all these threads. These are Madeira threads. I opened this after I already threaded my machine, and I was like, crap, I should have just threaded my machine with all of these colors. But look at the pretty rainbow. So, that purple is too bright, right? Let's see. What about this light blue color? That's not quite the same. Do you think that might be a little off, huh? No, I have like an ice blue, but it might be too light. Now we can do another shade of pink. Ugh. This is kind of off. It's not the same pink. It's a little different. Hot pink. Definitely purple. You like this bright purple? This is like super purple though, compared to these. Let me see. I have this little spool that's a little lighter. This one might work. Can y'all see it? Let's see. Let's go with the light. So with the light shining on it, do you see this purple? What do you think? mint green too. Yes, like this. Okay, how about this for the name? And then we still need that satin stitch. This is the mint. This is the mint that I have. This could be the satin stitch between the front fabric and the applique. And then this is the name. How does that look? So these two colors. So this will be that squiggly line going in between the two fabrics, and then this darker one will be the name. Okay, sounds good. All right, so we got our colors picked. Okay, I have, yeah, I need more thread. I think what's gonna look really pretty on the wall is more thread racks. We need all that. There was these metal ones. I think Terry bought them. I can't remember. There was some that was on sale for Amazon Prime Day, and they were the right kinds of racks, because if you notice, and I took a picture at Joann's the other day and I forgot to post it in the Facebook group. So do you see my racks? And I have the 1,000 meter cones of thread, these guys. When you buy the 60 spool wooden racks that are on Amazon, they don't fit these nicely. You can't put them all next to each other. You're gonna have to end up skipping some of the pegs. So these are 33 spool racks, and they have taller spools. And I found they're at Joann's, and I found them and I took a picture of them, and so you can see the box and everything. I'll try to remember and post that in the Facebook group. If you're not already a member of our Facebook group, please come join us. It's a very happy place. Lots of fun in there, lots of great advice and ideas and pictures of things people make. I love it. So anyway, on Amazon Prime Day, I found a really nice metal wall hanging rack that was the right size. It was like a 33 spool one, and it was on sale for like $14, but maybe the regular price is like $17, so it's not that bad. So I might buy a couple of those. I think the link is still in the unit section. I'm gonna go back and look, but maybe 2 of those hanging by the persona would be nice. So I can't hang anything by the Racoma because the windows are there. But yeah, we need more thread. All right, let's get started. Distraction. Squirrel. Okay. So, all right. So I have pink thread on there now. I'm just going to use that pink thread for all my placement stuff. And the first time I really need to change my color is when it's time to do the name, because none of the other thread you're going to see. It's all the inside seams of the bag. Okay, so I need to load my design. I'm pressing my USB button because it's on my little drive. And it's retrieving. And I have to scroll forever to find it. No, we did it with Kaylee, so it'll be with the K's. And it stands out because it's a bag. There we go. Got it. Done. Okay. It doesn't look right. Did I mess up? This happens to me sometimes. If I mess with a design and I put the name, so watch. I'm going to take this out and I'm going to put it back on my computer. And I'm going to open it up. The PES file, I'm going to open it up in Embrilliance. So we might have to, because when I did Lauren's bag, I just left the name at the end of the design and I just moved around the steps so that I could put the name at, at the right time, but according to the steps on Embrilliance, it was the last step. But this has happened to me before when I mess with a design. I think it's mostly in the hoop designs. They don't like it, because that's happened to me with the one of the key fobs. That's not what I wanted. Okay. No. So I'm opening up the PES file on my computer that I had saved, the stitch file, and I'm going to go through the stitch simulator. It made some crazy, it's doing crazy stitches. Look what it's doing. Like, I don't even know where this stitch came from. You see that? No, wait, that's not doing it. So this is what the stitch simulator looks like now. Like, I don't even know where that first blue stitch came from. And look, it's doing Kaylee there, like it's all wrong. Yeah. So this is what it's supposed to look like. See that? So I think it's something built in within the hoops designs. They don't like you to mess them up. So maybe the best idea would be to let me reopen the file. Let me do all this. So I'm going to reopen the design, the original design from Parker on the Porch. So I don't know if this is an Embrilliance thing or this is something the digitizer does to make sure people don't mess up there, because they give you an order to stitch it in, and if you don't stitch it in that order, things could get messed up. So in the hoop designs, Parker on the Porch, date break, 5x7. I'm just going to open it in Embrilliance. And then I'm just going to copy and paste the name I had on the other one. Just the name and paste. And I'm going to leave it to be the last step of the design, and I'm going to go through on my needle plus and minus to move around the steps. So I'm going to do that. Save stitch file as, and I'm just going to replace Kaylee. Replace the bag I did before, so now this will be a new bag. Save, replace. Okay, so it's good that even though I have a little tiny black and white screen, I still can see kind of what the steps are supposed to be, and I noticed like right off the bat it did not look right. So before I started stitching, it would have been on stabilizer, so it wouldn't have been a big deal if I did start stitching, but all right, caught that. Okay. So put the USB back in. So now let me scroll through and see how it looks. Now if you have the PE800, you're going to have a lot better visual and be able to see things a lot better than I can because you have a color screen. The black and white screen is not bad, but sometimes it makes it very hard to see what your design is. Okay, so now we have Kaylee. The bag, load it. Now it looks right. So I can tell that the all the steps look right. Yeah. And so it's just that the name is at the end. So before we get to that satin stitch for the applique, we're going to move around and make sure that we do it right. Okay, so my design is loaded. I only have the hoop stabilizer. I have my thread. It doesn't matter what color it is. I'm going to lower my presser foot and hit start. And this is going to tell me, I think the first step is the zipper. Where's my zipper? Okay. So 200, woo! Thank you, Carol. Yeah, one of the things when I did the interview with Blaine was that he asked about on average how many people watch for Sip and Stitch, and I said I think usually around 150 people watch live and chat with me. And he's like, I want to double that number. I want to make it 300. I want 300 people watching. I'm like, oh, Carol's gonna have her work cut out for her. We got 300 people asking questions. So, yay, thank y'all so much for watching. I appreciate y'all. So, Carol, she got this. She's a teacher, y'all. She knows exactly what she's doing. Okay. So, we're done the placement stitch now, and I'm going to go and look at my instructions to make sure I'm following the instructions correctly. So, the first is the placement. So, I'm going to lift my presser foot, take my hoop off so I can show y'all. Come on, hoop. This hoop is very particular. It likes to be taken off a very certain way. Okay, so this is the placement, and I have this jump stitch here I'm going to cut. Okay, cut the jump stitch. So the instructions are, these lines are telling you where to put your zipper exactly. So they want the teeth, that's what it is, it's teeth. The teeth of the zipper go on the center line. The bottom of the tape lines up with this bottom line. So I'm going, and for this first step, you want your pull to be at the end. I don't have a stop on mine, so I'm making sure I don't pull it off completely. But at the end, outside of the area, see, I made mine long enough to where it could really be on the outside of the stitch of the bag there. So I'm just going to tape that down with some masking tape to make sure it doesn't move. Okay, here we go. So I'm making sure the bottom lines up with that bottom pink thread. The teeth, I remembered something. The teeth are nice and right over that center line. And my pull is outside of the thing. And I'm just going to take some masking tape. To hold her in place. And you know, masking tape kind of has the same consistency as Tearaway, so you can tape it right here in the middle too, to make sure it doesn't shift in the middle. And we can pull that piece, oops, we can pull this piece off. It's going to stitch over it, but it's fine. We can pull it out after. So I have my zipper done, and I'm putting it back on the hoop. So, making sure I'm following directions. And then the next step 2 is going to secure the zipper to the stabilizer. It's going to do a line at the top and a line at the bottom. And I was nervous about it yesterday when I did it, but the foot, you know, it goes exactly where it's supposed to go. So let me make sure. Yep, everything looks good. Press your foot down and go. Yeah, let's see this. It's gonna stop and jump, and then go there. All right. So that's the zipper. Easy peasy. All right. Now, the next step is the lining. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to pull off this center tape now. And I do have to tear it away from the stitching. And so just kind of be gentle and pull it away, because you don't want to pull the threads that you just did. And I saw other people use, you can also use Scotch tape. At least that's what I saw somebody use. I like my masking tape. Okay, so I got those pieces off. And so now we just have the zipper. And the next step is we're doing the back side of the bag. So for me, it's going to be this fabric. And we're doing it underneath the hoop. So let me put y'all where y'all can see the hoop. Okay, so here's the hoop. This is the lines for the zipper placement. We want this bottom line, because now we have a new stitch here that wasn't there before. That's where it tacked down the zipper. But this bottom line, that is the seam for this. And we don't want it to be right flush with it. We want it to go down about 1/4 of an inch or so, like you would a seam allowance. So where that bottom line is where it's actually going to stitch. So we want the fabric to be a little bit further down from that. And what we're going to do later is it's going to stitch, and then when we're done, we're going to pull this down, and then it's going to stitch again. So that's what's going to happen there. But we want it like this. Let me make sure I am doing, nope, it's not the back of the hoop. It's not the back of the bag, it's the liner. I'm like, as I was thinking about that, I'm like, when we pull that down, that's not gonna be right. Okay, this is the liner. So this is my liner fabric. Okay, so a little bit below that bottom stitch there. That's where that's gonna go. And then we're gonna do this on top of it later, this purple fabric. This is a game of layers. Okay, so the liner. So that's gonna be there. And we're gonna tape that. And then depending on your machine, my machine, it does nicely with this stays out of the way while this is stitching. I could see where on a multi-needle machine, I'm gonna need to make sure to tape it and secure it better because this is gonna be hanging on the free arm. It's not gonna have something nice and flat. So those are things to keep in mind. I'll do one piece right here where I know it's not going to stitch on it, but just to hold it down. So like that. So this is what the back of the hoop looks like now. This is the liner with the right side. The right side is face down. So you see this is the wrong side of the fabric. I know it might be hard to tell a little bit. Okay, so that, and then I don't think we do a stitch yet. We're going to do this all in one run. So that's the back liner. And now we'll do I think it's the front liner. So this is the other side of the liner, and I think we do the same thing. So I'm going to tape it right, kind of how I did the back one, where it's a little bit further down than where the stitch is, like this. So let me make sure I'm doing that right. Place the front liner right side down against the stabilizer on the back of the hoop. Make sure the edge of the fabric covers the placement line. Place the front side down facing the stabilizer. So no, it's not the liner, it's the front. You see? Told you I'm not an expert at this. I'm reading the instructions. Okay. The front and the front liner. Okay, so this is actually called the front liner, this gold, and this is the purple is the front. Okay, make sure it's in place and tape. And this is just going to do one stitch line across to hold it in place. Okay, I think I remember this from Wednesday now when I did the other bag. I'm just taping this. I don't think I need to tape it here. Okay, so now we're going to put it on the machine. Okay, so you see how I'm holding this is that fabric. We want it up. And we want to make sure, you really need to make sure that you pay attention to what is my gold and white piece of fabric, because that can easily, when this hoop starts moving around, this piece can get pulled underneath here and then stitched to itself. So you want to make sure it lays nice and flat outside of the stitching, you know, staying outside of where it's getting stitched. Okay, so front liner, front of bag, doing one stitch across the front. Okay, and start. Okie dokie. Now, I'm going to take it off. Oops. And we can take off this tape. I'm sorry, I'll stop in a second and look for questions. So I took off that tape, so now the liner is there. That's going to be the front inside liner, and this is the front of the bag on the zipper. So now we want to pull that down really nice, and we're going to tape it. And now it's actually going to do a stitch the shape of the bag. So we need to make sure this is pulled nice away from this seam here, so that when it stitches it'll look nice. But this is going to stay out like this the whole time, because we want, when we're done and we have that stitch of the satin stitch going here and the name, it's not going to get seen on the inside of the bag. The liner is going to hide it. So we don't want to pull the liner down until we're done with all that. Okay, so let me go back to YouTube. Okay, any questions? I'm looking at the chat. Oh, I see Marissa already. So impressed with what we can do. It's my eyes literally have opened so wide in the past year. Even though I've owned my machine for 7 years, this past year, my eyes have opened so wide to the things that we can do on this machine. And that has really been because of In the Hoop. Okay. Thank you, Carol. Y'all are all great. You see, y'all all help each other and help answer each other's questions. Such a good community, all working together. I love it. Okay, so I am just pulling this purple piece down. I'm just kind of finger pressing it here, and I want to pull it, and I'm going to put some masking tape on the sides here. Okay, so I think that is it, and we still want this liner piece to be up and away. I'm going to load that back on. My hoop is way over here. My hoop does not like it when I try to put it on when it's way on the end. So I always have trouble with actually securing my hoop. Well, y'all can see. Like, it's way pushed at the back of the embroidery arm, and the hoop is a lot easier to put on when it's centered on this bed. So just to get your hoop to move back to center without like messing anything up, I can jump ahead or behind a step. And y'all have seen me do this before. If you have a brother machine, it's just the picture of a needle with a plus or minus. And once you hit that, you'll open up a screen where you have a spool with a minus, a spool with a plus, a needle with a minus, a needle with a plus. The spools will help you jump back or ahead a full step. The needles will jump back or ahead an individual stitch. Or it might have a needle with a minus 10 that would move back 10 stitches. Or a plus 100, that'd be moving 100 stitches ahead. So I'm just going to go back a step, and just by doing that, it makes my embroidery arm go back to center. And that just makes it a lot easier for me to put my hoop on. So now I know it's on and I know it's secure. And now I'm going to jump ahead a step. So now it's where it's supposed to be, and that is the placement stitch for the front of the bag, keeping the liner out of the way. And so now it's moving back where it was. And so I'm just holding my hand on this liner here to make sure it doesn't get pulled down underneath the hoop. I'm just making sure this liner piece stays out. And that's it. So you just did the outline of the bag. And so the next stitch is the placement for the applique. So we're just going to go ahead and hit start, because it's just going to show me where the applique fabric needs to go. Again, holding my liner, making sure it doesn't get pulled underneath the hoop. Okay, in the future, I want to have a sip and stitch, but we don't do a project, but just sit and talk, because I'm missing everything that's happening in the chat right now. Yeah, I know y'all are talking about some good stuff, and I can't see none of it. Okay, that's the placement stitch. So that's just showing me where to put my applique. I still got my heat and bind on the back, so I'm going to peel that off. Pew. And Christina, am I going to be live with Santa Blaine on Christmas Eve? Yes, he actually just emailed me today and said he wants to talk. We're talking about, yeah, I know y'all talking about me, Carol. Sip and chat, yes. Carrie, I love it. That's what we're doing. Okay. Santa Blaine emailed me today and said he'd like to get together and talk about what we're going to do. So I will be on the Christmas Eve show. It will be on Sewing Machine Plus face.com Facebook page and their YouTube channel. And I'll share it on my Facebook page. And I don't know if I know how to share it on YouTube. But you can watch either one. It's live. And it's going to start, I think, 11 a.m. Pacific time, which is going to be 12 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Eastern. I think I got my time zones right. I'm not sure what time I'm going to be on, but I did remember, like, after, because he asked me live, like, he was like, would you like to be on the show Christmas Eve? And I'm like, yay! And then after the show, I'm like, I have to go to church on Christmas Eve because my kids are singing in the choir. And so I have to leave my house by 2:30. So his show starts at 12 for me, right? So that's enough time. That's plenty enough time. As long as I leave my house at 2:30, it should work. Okay. I saw Brenda wrote something and then took it away. I don't know. All right, so we have the applique piece. We, yeah, Brenda, what are you sipping? Speaking of, let's take a break. Okay. So, applique piece, heat and bind on the back. And I am just putting, so my thread is still kind of going down. I just kind of glide my scissors under my presser foot so that the thread is not still stuck, because it did cut, but it was just still in there. And now I'm placing my applique fabric on top of here. And I don't think I need to secure it at all. I think it's fine just holding it. It's nice and stiff. I might use, not my fingers, I'm going to use the eraser of this to kind of hold it to make sure it stays where I want it to be. I'm going to put the presser foot down. It's down. And I'm going to go. So I kind of pull on the fabric in the corners to make sure that it's stitching. Really, like it's taut, you know? Oh, and also don't forget to make sure your liner is still staying away. Okay. All right. So that's the applique. Now, when I did this bag, the other bag this week, I was just, it's applique, so I started trimming everything. And I realized after I wasn't supposed to trim it all. So I'll show you what the instructions say to do. See, my hoop does not like it, and it's not centered. So I'm going to jump back a step. Now it's centered. And now it's easier to come off. So I don't know if that's just my machine or everybody's machine is like that, but mine does not like to come off unless it's centered. So my back still looks like this, just the liner. And now my front looks like this. We have the zipper, the front fabric, and now this is the applique. So really, I trimmed the whole thing on the other bag. But really, you only need to trim the top, because I guess you still want this to have some seam allowance. to stitch it all together. I don't know how much, it didn't seem to affect my other bag, but I'm gonna be good and follow the instructions now and just trim this part here. Okay, any questions? And I'm using my favorite applique scissors, the little tweezer ones. They are linked down below. You need these in your life. They're awesome. You need several pair too. You need one at every space. Like if you're blessed and have a craft room, because I know I'm very blessed and very lucky to have what I have, but I need one in every corner of my room. Okay. Wolf Geist wants to know if HTV can be used for applique. For the bag, I don't see why not. She did have a disclaimer on her instructions that this bag, and I would have to know more about in the hoop bags to understand this, but this particular bag, she did not advise using like faux leather or marine vinyl. I think, if I understand, because I watched one of, she had a old Facebook Live where she went through a bag similar to this one, where I think her explanation was it depends on your machine and it depends on your presser foot on your machine and how close it gets to the zipper teeth, and that on some machines it's too much, the vinyl, and she said particularly for thick marine vinyl it can be too much. Now that might be for what we're using as this piece, but maybe I don't see why we couldn't use marine or vinyl for this piece. And I thought about that for tonight, but I was like, let me be safe and use all fabric. But I'm going to experiment some more and see where I can get away with using vinyl. I mean, especially like the back of the bag, like it would be nice to have more, when I make a bigger one, like if I make one for the for my iPad, if I could find one that fits that, it would be nice for the bag to be a little more durable. Another thing I saw, I can't remember where I saw it, but I need to find it and add it to my Amazon cart, is that you can buy, oh, I remember. Did y'all do the Applique Getaway little mini conference where you got to watch all the videos? I'm still going through mine. I think we have till the end of the year to watch them all. But I watched the All Stitched Up by Angela videos where she just like went through supplies and stuff, because I love me some supplies. But she showed me something I didn't know about before, and it's just like Heat and Bond. It's made by the same people, but it's iron-on clear vinyl, and you can get glossy or matte, and you can iron it on your plain woven fabric, and it will turn it into almost like laminated wipeable fabric, which is great if you wanted to use this as a makeup bag and you didn't want the inside liner of the bag to get all dirty, and make it to where it can be white, like you could just pass a wet paper towel inside of it and wipe it out. You can iron that on this fabric before you start stitching to make it wipeable, or you can make sandwich bags for your kids, like reusable sandwich bags for lunches. So that is something I need to add to my Amazon cart. I've been meaning to do it and I haven't done it yet. Dawn says iron-on vinyl is fun to use to make bags out of candy bags. Ooh, yeah, I've seen that before, where you can use like all the leftover bags and kind of laminate them and then stitch out something cute with them. Chalkboard fabric, that sounds like fun. Okay. Okay, but we were talking about HTV for this applique. I don't see why not. I would use glitter though. I have not experimented with using smooth HTV as an applique piece. I don't know how well it would stitch. Like I think you might really see, because glitter HTV is thicker than smooth HTV. So I don't know how well it would work with stitching, and if it would, you could see all the holes and if it would tear. But I know glitter HTV works well for applique for shirts, and I don't see why it wouldn't work well for this. So that's something we can experiment with. Okay, so moving on. Now is the step where I want to put the name. Oh, we got a missed question. Brenda? Let's see. Okay. Thank you, Linda. Yeah, lots of stuff in the units section of the Facebook group. If y'all are a member of the Facebook group, there's a little menu bar at the top and it says units, and I try to put a lot of goodies in there of like frequently asked questions and just resources. So I thought about cork too, T-Scrap. I have some cork. I wonder how well that would stitch out too as the applique part of this bag. I have that gold flake cork from Hobby Lobby. I love it. Okay, so this is the part of the design where I want to add the name. So I'm still having my liner piece out the way, and I haven't done my satin stitch. Oh, and also this is the part where I want to iron down the applique. Let me go do that real quick, because I think I did forget that when I did my other bag. So I have my hoop. I have my... But when I did this bag, remember, I trimmed all of this. So it doesn't matter if that irons to it, right? Because I'm just going to cut this when I'm done. Okay, so I'm just going to take my little mini iron in the hoop and iron down my applique so that it's nice and smooth. And so when it does the name, it has a nice smooth surface that's not going to pucker if they got any gaps. Okay. All right. So that is ready. Oh, the masking tape underneath was sticking because of the iron. All right. Let's see here. I don't need this. Oh, I should have removed this masking tape earlier. So this masking tape was holding the liner in place, but it's okay. It's coming right off. Okay, so now I'm loading this back on. Liner staying away. Make sure my hoop is on good. Now I'm going to change the thread to the color for the name. So I'm going to cut my thread here. And I'm going to pull it through the needle. You never want to pull your thread backwards through the thread path. And load my purple. I haven't used this one. I got this at Joann's. Whenever I'm in a pinch for needing thread, and I don't have time for an online order, I order my exquisite thread from Sewing Machines Plus. When I am across the river here in New Orleans, I go to the baby lock dealer. I think it's called All About Sewing, and I'll get the Robinson Anton thread. But when I'm really in a pinch, I can go to Joann's and get this Gutermann. But make sure you get, Gutermann has a lot of all-purpose thread for sewing. You have to make sure you get the embroidery thread, and you can tell it's the embroidery thread because it's 100% viscose. Which I think is the same as rayon. I cannot find any 100% polyester embroidery thread at Joann. I can only find rayon or viscose. So, okay, here's my purple thread, my little teeny tiny cone. It's like so tiny on my thread stand. And put it through. Something's not right. I'm not pulling. You right? Okay. Alright. So I looped it through, but I got way too long of a tail, so I'm gonna cut it. I never use the thread cutter on my machine. I don't know why. I just never do it. Okay, so it's behind needle bar 6. That's important with threading. There it is. Okay, now I want to move steps to get to the name. So I'm going to use the spool plus button and jump until I get to the name. Put the presser foot down and go. So now this is going to take a little while to stitch because this is satin, but I want to make sure my liner stays out the whole time. But I can answer questions. Let's take a break. Oh, y'all talking about my mini iron? I love my iron. Yes, you can find the mini iron. I've heard people that have found it at Walmart, but it is also on Amazon if you cannot find it at Walmart. I've also seen a mini iron, I think, at Joann's, but it wasn't the same. I think it cost a lot more. And then I do love the Cricut Easy Press. I really wanted that one. That one cost $50, and I was just like, I like it, but not for $50. So this one was only $20, so I was like, that's not bad. Oh, Hobby Lobby has one key scrap like I'm using. Okay, I never saw it there. The silicone thing it sits on is also on Amazon. I think I have that link down below. If not, it's in the supply section in the units of the Facebook group. Wolf Guy said you got the Easy Press Mini recently. It's really cute, and I like that it has a cute little thing that it sits in. And I like the handle on it. So I think I would like it. I just didn't want it. It was too much of an investment for me because I told y'all I'm cheap. Now I like my craft supplies and I do overbuy, but I'm cheap when I buy it. Oh, and don't forget the 40% off coupon. Good point. Yeah, now that I've got the little one, I hardly ever plug in my big iron. Like I just use the little one all the time. It heats up so quick. The only thing with the little one is that it doesn't have auto shut off. So like right now, no, I'm gonna leave it on because I might iron the bag when I'm done. But I need to remember to unplug it because I'm not very good at that. Ooh, Linda said she got her silicone mat from Aldi grocery store for $3.99. That's good. We don't have an Aldi by us. I think they talked about opening one, but I don't know if that's ever gonna happen. Yeah, Nancy's saying the same thing. Like she uses her little iron too. I tried when I'm doing the kids' shirts. All right, I heard a thread break. So it's saying check and rethread my upper thread. I could see the thread is not there. I can't see any thread coming out the bottom. So at this point, I'm kind of forced. Let me show you. I'm a little bit forced. There's no thread here. So I'm kind of forced to pull from here where it's entering. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to gently pull it directly out from this guide and not pull it this way out the guide, if that makes sense. Like I'm going to try and pull it straight out so that I'm not going against the thread path. I'm going here, and I got it. Okay. So it didn't shred or anything, it just broke. So I could see some thread in my presser foot. There we go. I just got a tail here. So I'm gonna cut that. And I'm gonna rethread. Make sure your presser foot's up when you rethread, because like I could feel that it was not gliding through smoothly. I kind of feel it. I have to check it out. So one recommendation that I got from the Baby Lock dealer for maintenance on this machine, if you're worried that your thread path is dirty, you can cut like a really skinny long strip of cutaway stabilizer and run it through the thread path, or you can use unwaxed dental floss. But the guy at the Baby Lock dealer told me that was the easiest thing, was just cut a long skinny strip of cutaway and run it through like your thread, and it will clean the thread path in case they got any fuzz or buildup going on in there. Okay, so because that broke, I I could see where my last few stitches were. I could see where my last few stitches were here, but my needle is here, so I really want to back up and put my needle well before the end of this A, so that I'm overlapping where I was stitching and where it broke. So I want to back up, and that will kind of help join that together and prevent it from unfraying. So I'm going to use my needle minus button. On my machine, I can only go one at a time. I think on the 800 you can go 10, 100 at a time. So I'm going to just keep going until I see, and I can put my needle down, this needle down button, and see where it hits, and I can see I'm like right on the edge of where the end of my A was. I'm gonna back up a little bit more just to be safe. Alright, so I'm gonna redo that bottom tail of that A. And I got a little tail of thread poking up, but that's okay, I can trim that when it's done. So now it's just picking right back up where it left off. Okay. I saw a question about HTV. Okay, Carly, please give the name of the HTV place. I forget the name. Got some good. Oh, the place I told you about. I think it's called Heat Transfer Vinyl 4, the number 4 U, and then the letter U, not spelled out U. I think that was it. That's where I've gotten sizer. Is it sizer or scissor? I don't ever know if I'm saying it right. That's where I've gotten. Wait, oh, that's what I need to put back. I need to put back my rolls of vinyl. They're all screwed on that cabinet that I moved out of here. I need to find a place. Maybe I'll put it up here. But I need a place for all my rolls of vinyl. But that's where I get all my big rolls of vinyl from. And yes, I saw Angela Jasmina, who is where I buy embroidery vinyl from, and I bought blanks from her. She just started selling HTV, but I haven't bought any from her yet. But I think she uses the Stalls brand, which I haven't tried before. Ooh, Heather, you made felt dolls from Creative Kiwi. I have a whole bunch of designs from Creative Kiwi that I need to play with. But they look like they have a bunch of good stuff. Nellie says, I'm having issues with my machine upper tension, but the place to service her machine is closed due to COVID. So now, I mean, machines can have tension issues. Me personally, when people come in the Facebook group and tell me they have tension issues and they're fairly new to embroidery, most of the time it has to do with their bobbin being loaded incorrectly. And either it is in the wrong direction, or my go-to advice is when you load a bobbin, one of the flatbed brother machines, you have your bobbin, you need the thread to be going counterclockwise. So here's my thread. I want it to hang down like this. You can't even see the thread. I want it to hang down like this and look like it's the shape of a pea. That is how you're going to lay it in the bobbin case. So going counterclockwise with your thread here. And then you're going to pull it through the thread path, and they have a little cutter at the end of the thread path. Don't just pull it and cut it. I want you to pull the thread out like a good 6 to 12 inches before cutting it, and that sets your bobbin tension to be right when you've installed it in the machine. So I can't show you because the machine is going right now, but that solves a lot of people's issues. Also, I don't like the thread holder on the machine itself. I like to use a thread stand. I highly recommend getting a thread stand. Other people will just put their thread in like a coffee cup and put it. I've seen people put a binder clip right here and have the thread go up through the binder clip and then down. But those things really help with tension. So try all those things out before sending it to, and I know you can't send it to your shop now because it's closed, but try those things out and see if it helps. Okay, so we're done with the name. And we have some jump stitches in between the letters we'll cut later. It's telling me I'm finished sewing because that was the last step of my design. So now I have to navigate back, and I'm looking for that nice satin stitch that lines the top of the applique. And I have to change threads. So I'm going to raise my presser foot, cut my thread, pull it through. And we're doing mint for the top. I think these are going to be really pretty colors, guys. Good choices. I love when I have someone to bounce ideas off of, like with fabric and thread. Like my stepmom was in the craft room with me before I started, and she helped me pick fabric. Because like at first we had another fabric choices, and then I pulled these two out my purple bin, and she's like, ooh, I like that better. So thank y'all for helping me figure out thread. These are good colors. Okay, so now I'm still got my liner out of the way here, and I'm going to do the satin stitch at the top of the applique and hit start. All right. So Carol says, I'm addicted to Parker and Juju. I am also. I'm addicted. I haven't done many Juju designs, but I love the fonts, and I love the sales when they have the fonts, because fonts are expensive. And when they have sales on fonts, they have really good sales on fonts. Parker, on the board, I want everything. This is the only bag design I've purchased so far from them. If you sign up, when you go to Parker on the Porch, it'll say sign up for the newsletter. Do that, because she'll send you an email whenever she has sales. And whenever she comes out with a new bag, she usually has it to where if you buy that bag, she'll give you a kind of matching key fob or charm to go with it for free. I think it's free. So like for Halloween, she had a really cute Hocus Pocus bag. And when you add, and she told you in the email, when you add this bag to your cart and then go add this key fob to your cart, the key fob will automatically subtract out. And so then you're just paying for the bag, but you're getting both. So sign up for her newsletter to know about when sales are. She had a good sale, I think, too, for Black Friday, but I was spending too much money. I had to stop. I was like, I already got a bunch. I still haven't stitched out yet. I need to do that. Let's see. What are we talking about? Yes, Creative Kiwi. I got a bunch of their free designs that I need to stitch out. They have a lot of in the hoop projects. A lot of cute, people like mug rugs to put their coffee mugs on. They have a lot of cute ones. They have some cute sewing ones too, like with a little sewing machine on it. We should do that for a sip and stitch. Tattered Stitches. I haven't heard of that one. I have to write that down. Got my little notepad. Tattered Stitches. I will check that out. My other places I found for in the hoop projects, mostly the hand sanitizer and snap tabs and lip balm holders, have been designs by Little Bee, which is who we did the lip balm holder for, and Crashing Waves has really nice in the hoop designs. Planet Applique. I'm a huge Planet Applique fan. She has some incredible in the hoop dolls, like super duper detailed and cute little accessories to go with them. Like, I want to do them, but I mean, I'm scared to tackle them myself. So, oh, Carol, yeah, I'm writing the list too. Okay, no, I hadn't heard of Tattered Stitches. I'm gonna have to check that one out. But yeah, I haven't attempted any Planet Applique in the hoops. But yeah, they're amazing. We'll have to, that would be like a month-long sip and stitch to tackle that. We'll do a different piece every Friday. It'll take us a month. So, okay, let's talk about what's everybody want for Christmas. Christmas. What y'all asking for Christmas? I have on my list, I think I told y'all last week, I want to get a magnetic hoop for this machine. And now I really want some magnetic hoops for my other machines too. For the big machines, they make mighty hoops. For the Persona can get them, and the Ricoma can get them. But for the 5x7 machine, Brenda has a magnetic hoop that she loves that is on Amazon, made by Embroidex. I think I'm gonna put that on my husband's Amazon cart. Let's see. Brenda said a Roxy, but Hub said no. Don't worry, my husband says no to everything too. Ooh, lovely MSL got a Baby Lock Alliance. Hey, congratulations. That's just like the Persona. You're gonna love it. Miriam says, I want an EM1010, but it ain't happening. Like, trust me, girl, I know how all y'all feel. It took me years and years and years to talk my husband into these things, and I really only got to talk him into it because of YouTube and because people, because y'all are watching. That's the only reason why I got to talk to it. Like, I have an excuse now. Like, I need to show people how to use these machines. It's very important. Nancy got her Persona and Marissa too. So all my ladies in here that just got a Persona, is it Persona or is it Persona? I think it's Persona. Every time I say it differently. Sorry. I'm gonna try to keep Persona a constant. We'll see if this works. But all my ladies who have recently purchased the Persona, Delia too, she's getting hers soon. I have a goal of the next couple weeks is to start a private Facebook group for y'all. So if you see my baby back there, if you're interested in the Persona, message me on Facebook, email me at hello@carlybell.com, and I can help you through the whole checkout process, tell you what accessories you need, tell you how the machine works, and when you get it, you get free one-on-one training with me. And we're going to start you have access to a password protected site on my page on my website, just for the Persona owners, with just a little special place for y'all. And then we'll start a private Facebook group too, because I think we have enough people now to do that. So that is going to be in the works. So I got lots of lovely ladies that recently ordered their machine, or it's coming. It already came in. And we gotta have a little party on Facebook for all of that. Okay, so the applique piece is done. So now we have her name and this pretty piece. Let's see, Jennifer says, do you get any credit if I purchase a Janome machine? Yes, so I'm an affiliate for Sewing Machines Plus. So if there's any machine that you want to buy from Sewing Machines Plus, let me know. I can give you an affiliate link for that particular machine and my coupon code so that you can save some money. Now, not all brands will let you use the coupon code. Like I just learned this past weekend from Natasha that Juki won't let you use a coupon code. I think Janome lets me use a 5% off coupon code. I don't think it lets me use the 10% off. I got 2 of them. But yes, if you need any help with any machine from Sewing Machines Plus, I can make an affiliate link for any machine. Now, I can't necessarily give you training on it because I don't have that machine, but I'll help you as much as I can. So I've learned a few things about Janome through the Facebook group from other ladies that have it. But yeah, just send me a message on Facebook or email me, Jennifer. Okay. Oh, Miss Scarlett. So the Persona owners will just be the people that got it through me, and so that they have this is my way of having a perk of a thank you for ordering Carly will hook you up. I'm sorry. I know I'm an enabler, and I apologize, but y'all enable me too, you know. I see all the things y'all are doing. I'm like, oh, I need that. I need that too. Okay, so where are we? We did the name. We did the applique. I'm gonna wait and cut these jump stitches when we're done, and you probably can't see them. They're really tiny. Oh, Kathy. So Kathy brought up something I forgot I wanted to say at the beginning of the show. So I decided I am gonna take off Christmas week. No sip and stitch next week for Christmas between the Sewing Machines Plus show, and I really want to. I have some virtual one-on-one trainings I want to do next week with some of my ladies that recently got their persona in. Working hard here. I want to knock those out next week. I have a bunch of video, like regular YouTube videos I want to make. A bunch of things in my head going on all at one time. But I think we'll come back New Year's. Now tell me how y'all feel about this. Do y'all want to do our normal Friday night sip and stitch on New Year's Day, January 1st? Or do y'all want to move it to Saturday night, January 2nd? Let me know what's better for y'all, because I'm not doing anything. Oh, another reason why we're not having one next week, my husband's going to be going hunting again, and I'm not. It was massive craziness in this room the last time my husband went hunting. I'm not doing it again. I'm going to drink way too many of these if that happens. New Year's Day is good for everybody. New Year's Day is like football day here. Like, we just stay home and watch football. And I don't like cabbage and I don't like black eyed peas, so I'm cooking gumbo instead. Okay. No, D. Marcel, I'm not going to do both. Just one day. All right. We could do coffee for the daytime and do a mug rug. Oh, that's a good idea. I have some, and that's another thing I need to brainstorm next week. I have some ideas of digitizing my own designs. And, oh, we could do sip and chat. Yes, on New Year's Day. That would be fun. We can talk about everything, our goals for the new year. Maybe projects. We can make a list of projects y'all want to see done. We can go through a list of videos that y'all want for like little knick-knack tutorials. All right. Yes, gumbo from a true New Orleans lady. She had a recipe. My favorite gumbo recipe is not a normal gumbo recipe. I got it. If you look up, okay, I'm going off a little tangent, and I promise we're going to get back to the bag. If you look up, oh, it's your birthday, T-Scrap, on January 1st. Yay! We're going to sing T-Scrap happy birthday, and we can drink a glass of champagne to a new year that will hopefully be better. And talk about what we want to do. What was I talking about? Gumbo. Tangent. Here we go. My favorite gumbo recipe is not a normal gumbo recipe. It's a fusion of two of my favorite New Orleans dishes, gumbo and red beans and rice. So it's called red bean gumbo. And I got the recipe from a New Orleans, kind of a famous New Orleans chef named John Fulce. I got one of his like super duper big cookbooks. It's called the Encyclopedia of Cajun Cuisine. It's excellent. It's huge and it's expensive. But my parents got it for me for Christmas when I moved. I lived in Florida for 6 years for graduate school. And so I like left home and moved to Florida, and I wanted to bring all of Louisiana with me, so they got me this big cookbook so I could cook some good stuff when I was over there. But that's where I got the recipe. So look up John Fulce red bean gumbo. I'm sure you can find it online. If not, his giant cookbook was at Barnes & Noble back in the day when I bought it. But they probably don't sell it at Barnes & Noble everywhere, so you can probably find it online. So that is my favorite. Back to the bag. I need to refresh my memory on what step is next. So Now that we have the applique, we did the applique satin stitch. Now, after the applique is finished, now we can fold this down. So now I can take this tape off that was holding this up. All right, so now we can take this and fold this down, and I think we need to do the same thing like we did on the front. Like, we want it to be nice and tight, pulled down, and we're going to tape these sides, and then we're going to run a stitch that's going to secure this. Then we do something else. Okay, so that's the next step. Pull the liner in the back down. So I'm just pulling this down. And taping the edges. So the kids, you noticed Elise is not even come visit us this evening because today was my last day at work for the Christmas holiday, and some of my friends at work were nice enough to give my kids some Christmas presents, and one of them was a giant Lego set. So they have been mesmerized by the Lego set. So I don't know if Elise is going to come visit us tonight. So this is taping down the back liner. I think that's good enough. And I think I'm going to tape it right here too, because I don't want it to accidentally shift when the hoop moves. Okay. So I taped it right here too, just to make sure it doesn't move. All right, and once again, my arm is like way back here. That's gonna be too hard, so I'm gonna back up a step. And move forward a step. So now we are securing what is the front liner. Marcel said they just bought the pattern. It's very, the PDF is done very nice. So like somebody in the Facebook group asked that today, like whenever you buy an in the hoop pattern, does instructions come with it? My experience has been almost all in the hoop projects I get do come with some sort of instructions. Now, are all the instructions very good? No. But when you buy from reputable websites that sell, you know, nice designs like Parker on the Porch, Designs by Little B, Crashing Waves. I've seen Creative Applique had some in the hoop, and she even has a YouTube channel with her tutorials. So I think sometimes when people buy designs on Etsy and say the designer on Etsy doesn't have their own website and they only design on Etsy, that's sometimes where I start seeing the digitizing not being as good, or there might not be as good or any instructions with it. So usually when it's a reputable place that has their own website and has a bunch of designs, it's usually good. Is the Tearaway stabilizer the best one to get for embroidery on the machine? So Donna, stabilizer all depends on the project that you're doing. In the hoop projects, I use Tearaway, or I have a wash away, which I'm going to try one day when we do some freestanding lace. That's on my list. But it depends on the project. And if you go to my website, carlybell.com, I have a blog post all about stabilizer. Just scroll until you find it, and it will tell you all the different kinds of stabilizer, and I made kind of like a stabilizer cheat sheet of telling you, okay, if you're doing a t-shirt or knit material, these are the stabilizers you should use. If you're doing a bag, this is the kind of stabilizer you should do. If you're doing cotton woven fabric like this that's not stretchy, this is the kind of stabilizer you should use. So look at that post, and then the unit section. If you're in the Facebook group, I have a whole video in the unit section about stabilizer, and then a link to that blog post as well. So check that out. But yeah, it all depends on what you're embroidering. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different kinds of stabilizer. Okay. A 7. Forgot one. Okie dokie. All right, moving on. We stitched the liner. We're almost done. Okay, now is an important step. Once you have stitched the liner on the back, so now you're covering up all that thread from this satin and this name, so that looks nice and finished. Now the important step is to move the zipper. So I'm going to untape all of this. Don't need any more of this tape. So everything is really tacked down. Okay. And there is a jump stitch right here. I'm going to cut that jump stitch. And we're going to move our zipper to like the middle of the bag. But for me, because I have this long piece, there's going to be stitching going on above the zipper and below the zipper. So I need to tape my piece, I think. Let me think about this. Let me look at the final things. Or is it only the top of the bag? Top and top. Yeah. So it's not going to stitch anymore here. It's only going to stitch this top area. So I'm going to tape my little hardware piece down here so that it stays away from my needle. Okay. Now, what's next? So I remembered this. So I did it the way the I did it the way the pictures go in the PDF instructions. But then if you read closely in the PDF instructions, she says, don't do it like I did in the picture, do it this way. Which would be something I would do. So, all right, after we have done the back, the lining is stitched. Also, she advises that if you want to add any cute, like if you wanted to make this a purse, there's so many options, guys. You can add these cute little tabs with cute little D-rings here so that you can attach a strap. You can also add a little tab here if you wanted to add a key fob on the outside the bag. So I'm going to play with all of that another time, but for tonight we're just going to make the bag. But she has instructions in her PDF on if you want to add those little things. So now place the back piece face down on the front of your hoop, ensuring the entire bag is outlined and covered. So this is the back fabric here. And this is also where she recommends, this is where it changes. It's not like in the picture. Oops. Okay, my phone is going dead. I'm going to plug it in. All right. So, still here? Okay, so in her instructions on the PDF, it tells you put the back, stitch it, then put the other liner piece here, then the fusible fleece and stitch it. But when you read her instructions more carefully and not just go by the pictures, she says it makes a little less bulky if you do the fusible fleece on this step. So we're going to try that for this run. So when I made the other bag, I did it the opposite way. So we're putting the back, this is the back of the bag. Here, I'm making sure I'm covering up all my placement stitches. And then I'm putting the fusible fleece with the fusible side down on the back, the wrong side of the fabric, so that when I'm done, I'm going to fuse that together. Not sure if it matters, but I think it'll make it nicer. So I'm loading that on. I'm just leaving my mint thread. It doesn't matter what thread color you're using right now. I'm also, let's see if I could load my hoop. Yeah, it loaded nicely. Okay, so I don't need to move. So I think all of that is done. I don't think I need to tape anything. And I'm just going to start stitching. Goes around a few times. I think this is the one that it goes around like 4 times. So now let that stitch. Just gotta make sure your seams are really, really secure. Okay. Who did you get the pattern from? Heather. I got it from Parker on the Porch. It's called the Daybreak Applique bag. I think that's what it's called. And it is in the description box below. And I see the stabilizer cheat sheet. Let me go ahead and post. Let's see, I have the link for that somewhere. Where is it? Let me give you the post with the stabilizer cheat sheet. Where is that? All about stabilizer. So it's on my website, my blog. And I am pasting that here now. So this is the blog post all about stabilizers. And the stabilizer cheat sheet is in there. You can pin it to your Pinterest board, or you can print it out and tape it on the wall. Alright. So, also tonight, if you had any questions that did not get answered, or if you're watching the replay and didn't get to catch it live, any questions you have, you can always post it down in the comments below. So not the chat box, but the comments. I do try to go back and answer all the comments on all my YouTube videos, so that if you need anything, you know, I can help you out. So whether tonight you didn't get a question answered, or you're watching the replay and you have a new question, put it in the comment box. Okay, so we're done with the front stitching. So the last step. Okay, so that was the back of the bag and the fusible fleece. So now we're just taping the other side of the inside liner down, covering all the placement stitches. And this we have to tape because it's on the underside of the hoop. So tape it well. And this is the stitch where it's going to leave a little gap at the bottom so that we can turn the bag right side out. I'm going to got my lining, put the right side down so that your lining pieces are together. And I don't know, my hoop will go on. Oh, it went on. Okay, so last step, stitch. Last step for me. On the machine, it's still telling me to stitch the name, but we stitched the name, so we're done. Okay. Oh, we're talking about easy frames. I love my easy frames. So I got that weird noise. the Easy Frame set for the Persona. I'm working on my pronunciation. I got the set from Sewing Machines Plus. I think I have a link for it down in the description box below. All the way at the bottom, I have Persona accessories. So I have the Jerky Easy Frame set, the Persona pre-wound bobbins, and the clips for the Easy Frames. Those are most of the time when I use Easy Frames, I use sticky tearaway, but there are a few times where I use cutaway, and I use these special clips to clip the cutaway onto the Easy Frame, because essentially with the Easy Frame, you're floating everything. So I love the Easy Frames, but unfortunately they don't make them for the Ricoma. Ricoma makes their own, it's called 8-in-1 frames, and they were on back order when I got my machine, but I should be getting them next week, so I'm really excited to play with those. But I'm a big fan of the Easy Frame floating setup. Fast Frames is another company that makes them, and they're the same thing. It's just a frame and you're floating everything. So this is done. So doesn't look like much now, but it will. Okay, so let me see if I remember how to assemble this. I'm gonna stay here and do it because my phone is plugged in the charger. So okay, I'm going to loosen my hoop, pop it out. So also any tape, like I have a bunch of tape, we can take all that off. Okay. I think the next step is we actually gonna tear away as much of the stabilizer as possible. Christina says you have the 8-in-1, Christina, you like it? I think it's going to be the same thing as my Easy Frame, so I think it's going to be easy to use. Let's see. So, Nancy, you got your box of magnetic bobbins. Oh, all my Persona ladies that are watching, if you got your machine yet, I want you to message me so that we can FaceTime before you load your bobbin. We've had a few ladies that got their machine, and I think they loaded their bobbin incorrectly, and it caused them some problems, and I don't want that to happen again. So I want to make sure to FaceTime, video chat with everyone before their first test stitch to make sure their bobbin is loaded correctly. So if you got your machine in, message me. I think Nancy, we got something set up for Tuesday. And Delia, when you get your machine in, we'll do the same thing. Okay, so I am like looking what layers the tearaway is. Oops. I'm looking for between what layers of fabric is the tearaway really, and so it's here and here. So I am just pulling it along that thread. It's, just the outline of the bag. But we're pulling all of that out. So that's a little less bulk. Okay, so I think that's all out. So all the stabilizer is out, and now we're left with this pile of fabric that is all sewn together. Doesn't look like much now. It's getting better. Okay, now I want you to, the back of the bag, what was the bottom of the hoop, right? This fuzzy stuff was on top. My gold and white was on the bottom. You'll notice the last stitch has a gap. Oh, here she comes. I hear her. She must be done with her Legos. Okay, so there's a gap here because this is for you to turn the bag right side out. I need to make notches. Let me get my other scissors. Okay, what I'm supposed to do is cut and make a notch here, and cut and make a notch here, like that. So I'm going to do that real quick. And I'm not cutting I'm cutting right before the thread. So I'm just, making this tab here. So I have this notch here. Now, I only want to keep the liner, my gold and white fabric, those two, and the rest of this along. So like I could take a pin or a piece of tape and tape that up. So that's my notches for the liner. That is taped up. Now all the rest of the bag, I'm going to trim it. Even the top here where the zipper is, all of this, I'm going to trim with like, I guess maybe a 1/4 inch away from the thread. Maybe 1/8 of an inch. I don't know. I'll eyeball it. I'm not. I hear people that sew. They're like, oh, 1/4 inch thread seam allowance or 1/2 inch seam allowance, and I'm eyeballing everything. I have no idea what I'm doing. So I'm taking my scissors, starting from my notch here. Well, actually, I mean, you're gonna cut this too, like all of that. The only thing you're not cutting is that folded piece that we taped up from the liner of the bag. So I could start at this corner here. So I'm not cutting the liner on that little tab. I'm cutting all the rest. And just going all the way around. And we're cutting, and when I first did it, I'm like, do I cut the zipper tape? I'm not sure if I cut the zipper tape. You cut the zipper tape. Cut it right there. You know, you have a little gap here, and it's easy. It's because it's plastic, it's super easy to cut through. So I'm making a mess here. Let me put all this in the garbage. Okay, so now I'm gonna do the top here. And she probably says in her instructions how much of an area to leave, but I don't remember. I'll look when I'm done. Tell y'all to do the right way. I'm just eyeballing. Okay. Okay, so now we are left with somewhat resemblance of a bag. Could take that tape off, so now we got just a little tab. I didn't do a very good job of my placement for this. So this is where, okay, now we're going to turn the bag right side out. So when we do this, I'm going to do it carefully. I'm going to start in this corner. And pull it out. And I think the smaller the bag, the harder it is for this step. The bigger the bag, the little bit easier. I think she did, she did a good job in designing it where the seam shouldn't rip, because we went around 4 times. But now we're looking at the liner of the bag. So, okay. I'm just pushing out the corners with my fingers. I'm not a bag maker, but I think people that do make bags use like a wooden dowel or chopstick, something with a kind of a blunt edge, not too pointy, so that you don't rip the seams, but to stick in there and point, in those areas to pull them out. Okay, so now this is the part where she showed. So this part is stabilized here. That's your zipper. I'm going to show you how to get that out. But this is the liner of the bag, and then we have these tabs. Now if we wanted, and it might work this time with the iron. Let me see. I think I have some hem tape. Where would it be? So what I tried to do for the first bag was, I'm a little rolling. This is like my little rolling sewing part. You can't see it. I got a bunch of goodies in. I keep underneath my desk here. I think I have some, what would be heat and bond hem tape. Let's see what I got. So I tried to use some heat and bond to put this part of the bag together, but I had done that fleece on the other side and it just like, it was too thick. Here we go. I got iron-on fusing web. That's probably what I should use. I got 2 things of it. Somebody gave me. My mother-in-law gave me a box full of sewing stuff. What, baby?
Open the door.
I didn't know it was shut. I'm sorry. Hey, you want to come tell everybody hi? You want to come tell everybody give the video a thumbs up? You need help? Okay. Come see. Go tell everybody give a thumbs up and I'll fix your doll. Will they see you?
Ladybug, ladybug.
Not everybody knows what ladybug means. You have to tell them.
Ladybug means subscribe.
Ladybug means subscribe.
Yeah.
Don't fall. Okay, I fixed your doll. All right. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So, if y'all don't know, I think it was close to Halloween. She dressed up as, she had this ladybug costume. It's actually a baby costume, but she like barely fit in it. And she came in the room during Sip and Stitch and was just like, ladybug, 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 ladybug. I was just like, the only words out of her mouth were ladybug. And now she does it every time. She's like, ladybug means thumbs up. Ladybug means subscribe. I'm like, okay. Not everybody speaks ladybug, at least. Okay, so I found some iron-on tape in my goodie box of sewing stuff. And I think with this different method of how we did the fleece on top instead of the fleece on the bottom like I did for the other bag, I think it's going to be easy to, so what we're going to do is we're going to fold this in and we're going to fold this in so that the inside bottom of the bag looks like a nice, you know, and then put that iron-on fusing. So we can do that real quick. I think now it's not so many layers because like before that fleece was underneath this. So like when I tried to iron it, the heat wasn't getting through because it was too thick. But now I think it will. So I will cut a piece of that real quick. This is different than what I thought it was. It's not, I think I had some heat and bond tape somewhere. It's probably somewhere in that thing, I don't know where. Okay, so I'm just going to cut a piece of this. Carol will probably know better about this stuff than me. And I'm going to put that in here. And try and fold it just right. Now on the other bag I couldn't do this, so you can also just hand stitch it closed. And all I had a needle already threaded with pink thread when I was going to do that, so I was like, I'm getting pink thread on the inside of this bag. It'll be a cute little thing on the inside. Even though those kinds of seams usually are invisible and you should not see the thread. I did it in pink thread. Okay, so I think I got that on there good. So I'm going to go iron that really quickly and I'll be right back. What's wrong, Lacey? What's wrong?
I'm bored.
You're bored. Probably because it's bedtime. I hear Papa talking about you downstairs. Okay. So, you're bored. Okay, Mommy's almost done with her bag. and then we can go lay down and put on a movie, okay? And go night-night. Okay, so I don't know how good of a job. I guess I need to play with it more.
Can I sleep in your bed?
Yes, you can sleep in my bed tonight.
Yay!
Yay! So I ironed that, or you can do, if you have something better, let me know. I think Jen, the lady that designs, she used something called press and seal, like, so you didn't even need to heat it, but I couldn't find it on Amazon. I looked for it today. Okay, so now we're at the zipper and the stabilizer. So you see this center stitch? This was just a placement stitch. This is not something that is stitched on the zipper or the bag. So we're supposed to cut one end of that placement stitch. Okay, and then we're supposed to be able to grab it. I hear her downstairs telling Daddy, Mommy said I could sleep in your bed. Okay, so now I got a little piece here I could pull, and I think we will be able to pull it, and it will kind of rip the stabilizer down the middle. Let's see, I don't think I have the... She made it look easy when she did it. Okay, so I got my pink and my white, and now I'm just pulling. It's not that easy to do. So I'm just going to pull the stabilizer. Oh, here we go. So I'm pulling. Yep. Okay, and then you want to not pull the thread on this end, but just cut it. Oops. Okay. So I pulled the stabilizer and that placement stitch. I got some random threads here from the edge of my fabric frayed a lot on the edges. I love heat and bond because it prevents all the fabric from fraying. That's probably why she uses interfacing to prevent that, but I don't have any. Another thing I need to add to my Christmas list. Okay, so I got a little bit more stabilizer here. Alright, so I got all the stabilizer out from the thread. Okay, sweetheart, we're almost done. Okay. iPad is right here. You can watch my iPad. There you go. I was charging it for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I think she also recommends that you can press it with an iron right here if you want to.
Mommy,
I'm just going to go ahead and finish up because she's done.
Mommy, I have a couple
I have
batteries.
my whatchamacallit, pull is my, I hope my phone is charging.
Mom, is
What,
there
baby?
no internet?
Yes, we have internet. I had the zipper pull taped down, so now I can open the bag. And now I can turn it right side out where the liner is on the inside. Okay. Whew. Did it right. And there we go. Look how cute it came out. I love the gold zipper. I think that makes it look really cute. So, no, I didn't iron the fleece yet. So you can go take it to the table now and iron it. The fleece is right on the back underside of this. So I could go and take and just press this side and it will iron this purple fabric to the fleece nicely. So, yeah, I think it came out good. So you can, I guess there are things you can, whoop, I need a wooden dowel. I could use the eraser of the pencil. And I didn't do the best job of sealing the liner. I could have did that better, but I think it's fine. And, well, you know, I'm noticing that. The little girl that's going to get this is not going to be like, oh, you didn't do a very good job on the liner. I don't think she'll notice. So this is adorable. This is a good size. Let's see. I don't think my phone, I'm holding it up to the phone now to see like the width. Won't fit my phone in it. I have an iPhone, what do I have, X something. It won't fit in there. but a smaller things will fit in it, like crayons will fit in it definitely. It could be a little tiny jewelry accessory, hold your jewelry in. It can hold just anything, you know, little makeup nail polish bag. That'd be really cute for the kids, especially this is for like a 12-year-old little girl, so I think she'll like it. And then I could make her a matching key fob, and I could put it through that holder on the zipper like that. So then it could be a wristlet. But this key, I made this key fob on the 5x7 hoop. It's not, and this is the biggest one you can make on the 5x7 hoop. It's not quite big enough, but if you have a longer hoop like on the Ricoma with the 8x12, I should be able to make a longer wristlet where you could actually put your hand through it. And then it could be a wristlet purse too. So, all right. Oh, good night, Carrie. Merry Christmas. All right. Hi, Bonnie Sue. Now, is that Bonnie Sue, my stepmama Bonnie Sue? Or is that a different Bonnie Sue? Is that you? It's not you? Okay, she's downstairs. She told, huh? I hear she's yelling at me. Okay, Carly and everyone, I'm having 10 sharp reasons to get up at 5 a.m. so I have to get going. Oh, okay. Love you, Carol. Ooh, I know what the 10 sharp reasons are. I'm so excited for Carol. I hope it works out. She's, well, I probably shouldn't say it. So anyway, everybody keep their fingers crossed for Carol tomorrow, that something works out good for her. Okay. Yes, call me, text me tomorrow, Carol. I want to hear all about it. So I think we're done for tonight, guys. But yeah, this came out really cute. Great present. I'm excited to do some bigger bags. I'm excited to play around with it more with like the instructions said, where you can put a little tab here, and then you can add, then you wouldn't have to be on the zipper, but the wristlet part could be attached here on a little tab here. And the wristlet is also from Parker on the Porch. And then I could also put the 2 little tabs with D-rings right here and here, and then you can add a strap, and then it could be a little crossbody bag for a little girl. So lots of fun things. Jennifer, you sent me a message? Okay, I'll check it after when we're done. Merry Christmas. Nancy, yes, we will talk on Tuesday. And yes, I'll get back to you about a specific time. I don't think I have any other appointments on Tuesday. Yes, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. So remember, no sip and stitch next week. Hope everyone has a very, very, very Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, whatever you celebrate. I hope it is wonderful. And we will be back New Year's Day, January 1st, Friday night. First sip and stitch of the year, and we will do a sip and chat so that I could talk to y'all more. But we could talk about the new year, what kind of projects y'all want to do. We will make a list. We could talk about supplies. We could talk about Embrilliance. We could talk about machines. Whatever y'all want to talk about. It'll be a free-for-all. And be sure to tune in to SewingMachinesPlus.com's Facebook group or YouTube page on Christmas Eve at 12 o'clock Central Time. I will be on there with Mr. Blaine Austin of Sewing Machines Plus doing, I don't even know what we're doing yet. I don't know if it'll be an interview again, or he wants me to do a demo of a project. So we'll see. I have to talk to him to see what I'll be doing. And I don't know exactly what time I'll be on yet, but I know that it'll have to be at the beginning of the show because I got to go to church in the afternoon. So, let's see. Oh, I'm thinking about it wrong. Right, Christina? It's going to be at 1, not at 12 Central. 1. It's 11 o'clock Pacific, 1 o'clock Central. Right, so, and I have to leave by 2:30. So I only got an hour and a half window that I can be in there. So 1 o'clock Central Time, Christmas Eve. Oh, Bonnie Sue said her husband just got her the 1600. Yay! The NQ 1600. Wonderful. I'm so excited for you. That's such an I still kind of want that machine. I've become a hoarder of embroidery machines. I love them all. But that's such a nice machine. I'm so happy for you. Thank you, Rosie. Rosa Alina for Ladybug, Merry Christmas. Brenda, yes, 2 Eastern on Christmas Eve. So, okay, well, I hope y'all enjoyed tonight's project. This is my new obsession, guys. I'm gonna go press this on the iron on the back for the fusible fleece, and I'm gonna cut these little jump stitches. But this guy is done. I think I'm gonna put her a little chapstick holder in here or hook it on the zipper, and that's gonna be her Christmas present. So I think she's gonna like it. So hope y'all all have a Merry Christmas, and I will see y'all January 1st, first sip and stitch of the year. In the meantime, make sure you're subscribed and have that click that bell notification button to see. I'm hoping to do more recorded YouTube videos, like not the live ones, but the regular ones. So I have a whole list in my head of simple little tutorials with the PE770 and some with the Persona, and then once I feel more comfortable with the Ricoma, I'll do some videos with that as well. So all the machines, all the things. So make sure you're subscribed and have that bell clicked for notifications. If you're not a member of the Facebook group, please come and join us. And then always you can, I try to post as often as I can on carlybell.com with all the projects that we're doing everywhere. So, okay, thank you guys. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, happy New Year, happy everything. So I'll see y'all next time. Bye.